Hi Year 9, today what we're doing is area of a circle. So to calculate the area of the circle, we use the formula A equals pi r squared, where pi is equal to approximately 3.141592654. And we have that r is our radius of our circle. Our radius goes from the centre of our circle out to the circumference of our circle. Sometimes we are given a circle with a diameter. So to find the radius, we have to halve the diameter. So that means our radius equals half of our diameter, or we could write r equals d divided by 2. Our diameter goes all the way across through the centre of our circle. Let's look at some examples. So to calculate the area of these circles, we want to round to 2 decimal places. What we need to do is we need to identify the formula for area of a circle. The formula for area of a circle is A equals pi times r squared. So we're going to write that out at the start of every question. A equals pi times r squared. We then want to identify what our radius is. In this question, we have been told that our radius is 9. We want to, on our next line of working, substitute in our radius. So we have pi times 9 squared. What we then want to do is we want to get a calculator, and on our calculator we have to find the pi button. So on our calculator we have to go to find pi, we have to go shift and then our times 10 to the power of x button. Okay, then all we do, once we have pi, we go times 9 squared on our calculator and we write down our whole answer. So we get 254.4690049. We then want to round this to 2 decimal places. So when we're rounding to 2 decimal places, we want 2 numbers after the decimal point. However, here we have that the number after our second decimal place is 9. So when it's 9 or greater than 5, we have to round up. So that means that our answer is going to be 254.47 centimetres squared. Now it's important that we do not forget our units. Over here I will just write a little note, and I want you to do the same on your notes. So what we have written here is that to round to 2 decimal places, we look at the 2 numbers after the decimal point, which are the ones I've highlighted in blue, and round up the second number. If that third number, so our third number I will do in orange, if the third number is greater than or equal to 5. Alrighty, let's have it go at example B. So our first line needs to be the formula A equals pi times r squared. We then need to identify our radius, and we have been given the radius of 12 millimeters. So we substitute that in where we have our r. Okay, so we'll get pi times 12 squared. We then put that onto our calculator. So remember how we get pi is going shift times 10 to the power of x, and then we go times 12 squared equals, and we write our whole number out that our calculator gives us, which is 452.38934 0.421. Again, we want to round to 2 decimal places, so we look at the two numbers after the decimal point, and then if the third number after the decimal point is greater than 5 or equal to 5, which it is in this case, we round that last number up. So this will be 452.39. Our radius was in terms of millimetres, and we have to square our units like so. Okay, so for example C, again, we need to use pi times r squared, which is our formula. We need to identify what our radius is. Okay, our radius is 2.4 metres. We want to substitute our radius of 2.4 metres into our formula of pi times r squared. We then put that on our calculator by going shift times 10 to the power of x times 2.4 squared equals, we write our whole calculator answer down, which is 18.09557.368. Then to round to 2 decimal places, we look at our two numbers after our decimal place, which is our 0 and our 9. We then look at our third number after our decimal place, and if it's greater than or equal to 5, we add 1 to the previous number, which this is. So we want to add 1 to 0.9. So adding 1 to 0.9 gives us 10. So what we do is we write 18.10 as our answer. Our units are in metres, and we have to square them. For example D, what we want to do is we have been given a diameter. So we've been given the whole length that goes across the circle. So we want to find the radius, and how we do that is by getting our diameter and dividing it by 2, or halving our diameter. So we substitute our diameter into this formula to find our radius. So we get it equal to 10 divided by 2, like so. Okay, I've just given you the answer there. We go 20 divided by 2 because our diameter was 20, and so that means that our radius is 10 because 20 divided by 2 is 10. Now we have our radius, so our next line of working should be our formula, which is A equals pi times r squared. Okay, we need to continue to write our formula out for each question so that when we come to doing the assessment task in a week and a bit's time, we can remember the formulas off the top of our head. So let's substitute in our radius of 10 in, so we'll have pi times 10 squared. Again, we need to put that into our calculator. We're going shift times 10 to the power of x to get our pi times 10 squared. When we put that into our calculator, we get 314.1592654. Now to round to 2 decimal places, we highlight the two numbers that are after our decimal point, and then we highlight our third number to see whether that is greater than 5, and it is, so we are rounding up. So to round up, we're going 15 plus 1, which equals 16. So our decimal point will be 314.16. This is measured in centimetres, and we have to square them. What you guys are going to do now is complete pages 8 and 9 of your area, surface area and volume booklet as soon as you have these examples copied down in your book.